Hi, Alex.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. It's good to see you today.
Lovely to see you. Yeah.
And so our session is totally confidential, Alex. So in the time that we have today, what would you like to focus on?
So I'm a geography teacher, and I'm going through an internal consultation process at school, and I'm to be fair, looking for some clarity on what to do next.
Okay, so how are you feeling about everything right now?
Very overwhelmed, to be fair. Yeah, I'm very unsure of really what I have to do or how I should do it. So yeah.
So a big part of this is trying to help you understand what it is that you want and not just reacting to a situation, but helping you with that decision-making process. So by the end of this session, Alex, what would be helpful for you to take away?
For me, I think I'd like a clearer direction on what I should be doing and how I should be doing it, so I can make an informed decision on what my next steps might actually be.
Okay, so let's start by exploring what's important to you. So let's take a step back and think about what actually brought you into teaching in the first place.
Well, love of geography. Absolutely love it. I really enjoy, you know, the natural world and understanding it and working with students and watching them understand it and learn and love it as well. It's really fantastic.
Okay, so what's different now?
Well, it's bureaucracy. The leadership, the overwhelmed with the amount of work that I have to do, and this consultation process. It's really playing on me.
So there seems to be a bit of a shift, and you're at a bit of a crossroads. So tell me what is it about teaching that still resonates with you?
Well, I love the as I said, I love the students. I think that they're fantastic. The subject is great. It's a fantastic job, but perhaps thinking about it, maybe not in this environment.
Okay, so what no longer fits for you?
I think for me, it's not knowing how this consultation process is going to go forward, and whether I'm a right fit for this environment.
That's a really helpful insight to have. So how do you feel about the situation right now?
Very overwhelmed, to be fair. I'm trying to make some sort of sense out of what my next steps might actually be, or whether I even stay in teaching or within the profession.
So let's open up the possibilities and think about if you were to stay and fight for your job, what would be the reasons?
Because I think I love the subject. I love the people. I love the students, and having my voice heard, I think would be really key within this process. That would be the reason.
Yeah, so being heard as part of the process.
Absolutely.
And then take the other side of it. So if you were to step away and look for something else, what would excite you about that?
Not being in an environment that feels overwhelming, and and sort of feeling natural in what I do, and so I can really feel the love of the subject, perhaps, or the profession potentially.
So what's holding you back from making that decision right now?
Fear, fear of making the wrong decision. Fear of losing all of the work that I've done here, and whether or not that's the right choice to make.
And so if you talk about fear there, what would you need to believe in order to make about yourself and your future in order to make a confident decision?
I think I'd have to believe that I am good at my job, that I can make a difference, and that I'm on the right track. And I have clarity through confidence there.
Okay, so you talk about confidence in terms of clarity.
Yeah.
What could you do in order to start to develop that or that belief that you say about yourself?
I think what I could do is perhaps speak to some colleagues who've also, worked around this area or may have been in a similar situation. I could do some research myself and perhaps just reflect on what I've achieved in what I've done so far in my career.
So you've identified some of those really important insights and a couple of steps that you could take in moving yourself forward. what one step would help you to get closer to that clarity to make that decision?
I think that's going to be doing some research into what my options really are, and understanding whether or not that's the right choice. So I feel that I'm making an informed decision. Yeah.
And how will you know when you've got enough information or enough clarity to make that decision?
Well, I think I'll feel that I'm at peace with my choice, and I'm not making a knee-jerk reaction or a snap decision based on fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you talk about, taking that first step. How committed are you to taking that first step to getting, as you say, the goal of clarity?
Yeah. I think it's an absolute 10.
Okay.
Absolute 10, yeah.
And that sounds like a solid commitment.
100%. Yeah.
What's going to get in the way?
Me. I could get in the way of myself. I could feel overwhelmed perhaps, or just work could get in the way, or just really not trusting myself.
And how will you help yourself in overcoming some of those challenges when they arise?
I think I could remind myself that I can make the right decisions. I think I could perhaps I could ask somebody to be an accountability buddy around this as well, and help keep me on track.
So you've got a few ideas there
Yeah.
in order to make sure that you don't,
Yeah.
I suppose, get in your own way,
Yeah,
as you say.
absolutely.
So when will you start?
I think I'm going to start straight away after this session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just going back a little bit, Alex, in terms of what you've heard and everything from our session today, what have you gained in terms of your insights into the situation?
Well, I have gained clarity. I think that I through some planning and trusting myself that through the process I can make the right choice.
Well, thank you for your session today and your
Thank
time
you
today.
very much. I really appreciate it.